Hi, Mark Gilbert here, and in this brief video I want to offer you a process that I guarantee will help you in shifting your thinking towards the positive in your life. It's a process that I call to live for. It came from the work of my wife and I, who were discovering that a lot of people would use the phrase to die for in relation to something that was so wonderful that they were experiencing in their life. You've probably used this phrase yourself, and we all have. But we hear people talking about, oh, that chocolate was to die for, or that meal was to die for, or whatever experience. And pick an experience, that trip, that sunset, that whatever. It was to die for. And my wife and I started wondering why it is that we had to feel like we had to die to have that experience. I mean, that experience is not one to end this lifetime, but one that really blesses this lifetime. And so we started playing around with that idea, and we came up with this process which we used in our personal lives as a couple. And then we've taken it on the road and taught it in classes and workshops, and we found that people really benefit from it. Now, the process is fairly simple, and you can do it alone in the privacy of your own home or writing down notes. It's best to do it verbally, I've discovered, but it also works even better when you're working with another person. So if you've got a significant other that's in your relationship, why don't you play around with this and see if maybe the two of you can use this process. But if you don't have someone that you can play with it, certainly do it on your own. Now, how the process works is you find some aspect or a memory from your life that was so wonderful, such a vivid, exciting experience that it really blessed your experience as a spiritual being having this human experience. It recognized that that moment in this lifetime was just truly a gift to you. And the idea is to express it in such vivid terms that it locks it into not only your mental awareness, but you're inviting your emotions to come forward and recognizing what that feeling was like. Describe it in as much detail as possible, and then when you feel like you've described it completely, just say, you know, that moment was to live for. And that's the close-off to pass it to the other person. And then they'll go through their description of some moment in their life, and they'll end it with to live for, and then it's back to you. What I've found is that by feeding off another person, you really can sort of generate more and more deeper ideas. What will happen is as the other person is describing their wonderful moment to live for, that'll generate ideas and excitement in you of something that you wish to share and verbalize. And so that's why I think working it with another person is great. But I'm going to do a couple of examples alone with you here just to give a sense of how it would work. And you can then think about these and then take them into your own life. So here's an example. You know, the other day I was at the dog park with my chocolate lab, Penny. And Penny just loves to get around other people and other dogs. And she was off leash at this dog park and was running and running, and when she would come back to check in with me, she just had this panting smile on her face. Her tail was curled up with excitement and laughter. The weather was beautiful. The other dogs were running around, and she was just so passionate about the excitement of being able to run free with other dogs that it just filled my heart with a great excitement and joy, and that I couldn't help but smile and laugh in that moment, watching her running around, feeling such joy in her own life. That moment truly was a moment to live for. Okay, there's an example of one. Let's do another one. You know, the other night I was sitting out on the porch and I was watching the sunset. And as the sun was setting, it was one of those moments where the sun was breaking through the clouds and was spraying this sort of cascade of sunlight all across the horizon. And it's one of those moments that I often feel like you can just see God in the moment or Spirit in the moment, because it's just shining down with such beautiful light. And the colors were crisp. There was a blue and an orange and shades of gray. And as I watched the mountains and the sun setting and the light beaming through the clouds, it just filled my heart with joy of the wonder of being a human in this moment, going through that experience. It truly was a moment to live for. Okay, there's a couple of examples. Hopefully they generated some thoughts in you. A lot of times my wife and I will have moments on trips, moments with interactions with grandkids, moments with great and wonderful meals. The idea is to visualize and feel that moment with such intensity that you're bringing back the emotion to a degree within yourself. Play with that. See how it works for you. I guarantee if you use it, you'll find that it really does open your sense of life to greater levels of joy and harmony and peace. Till next time.